Starting June 3rd, drivers across the province will need to ensure they give cyclists more room on the roads. The province making changes to the Motor Vehicle Act. One of the goals is to better protect cyclists and pedestrians. The changes also increase the amount of space drivers need to give cyclists, with cars needing to move over 1.5 meters on highways with posted speed limits above 50 kilometers an hour. In 2016, a well-known Canadian competitive cyclist, Ellen Waters, was struck by a vehicle while out for a training ride in New Brunswick in 2016 while she was home for the holidays, dying in hospital days later of her injuries. Ellen's death prompted calls for change to legislation across the country to better protect cyclists, with many provinces implementing Ellen's Law, requiring drivers to move over at least 1 meter when passing a cyclist. While other provinces had similar laws or made changes following her death, Ellen's friends and family, along with her teammates, have been calling for the changes in BC. Joining me is Ellen's sister, Lily Waters, who now lives in New Westminster. Thanks so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So I guess to begin, tell me about Ellen and her legacy in cycling and everything that she accomplished.
So Ellen was a really bright light for everyone who met her, and that really shone through in cycling, which lots of people think of as an individual sport, but it's really, really team-based. You build each other up, you support each other, and that was something that she really, really did extraordinarily well. Everyone who met her felt enthused to do the things that they were doing with Ellen.
For those who aren't familiar with what happened, why are those changes being made here in BC so important?
In BC, we haven't had those laws to protect vulnerable road users, and so having that clear delineation of an amount of space that motorists are expected to move over. 1.5 meters is not a great deal of room when you're unprotected on a bike or as a pedestrian, and so having that number in mind reminds people just about giving everyone the space they need to stay safe.
What did the changes mean to you and your family?
They mean so much. Of course, we were personally devastated to lose Ellen, but we hear about other people who've gone through similar things, and we know, as Ellen's family, that the ripple effect, the loss and the grief and the heartache that people go through when they lose someone so close to them, that can't be undone. So to know that there are more protections moving forward means the world to us.
Many provinces implemented Ellen's Law, which was moving over 1 meter. BC here, and it's now 1.5. Do these changes go far enough, or is it kind of a starting point?
So it is a starting point, and one of the things that I really like about the law in BC is that where we have lower road speeds, the distance is 1 meter of passing that's required, and when we get above 50 kilometers an hour, 1.5 meters is required. I think that's a great distinction, that when you're moving at those higher speeds, you need more of a buffer area to make sure that everybody's got their own space.
And you know, there's so much talk of legislation and those technical elements of moving over a certain amount, but to sum it up for drivers, what would your biggest message be?
That driving, like cycling, we often think in terms of being individual, and it is a team sport. We are all out there trying to get where we're going, and we can be teammates to each other. The cyclists are not out there trying to impede drivers, and it's so important to understand that 30 seconds of your day can mean the difference for the rest of someone's life, for an entire family.
Lily, thanks so much for taking the time to be here and sharing your story and Ellen's story.